Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our previous tutorial, we went ahead and made Luigi's hand here. And this time, we're going to go ahead and start working on his face. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and save our project. And then create a new copy. And this is going to be version 7. Now, doing the face is a bit tricky, but there are a few techniques to make it really easy. So we're going to do that. Jump into the front view here. We're going to center up on the face. And it's recommended to start with the eyes and the mouth first, because those are details that are difficult to cut in later. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to come up here and grab a cylinder. And then I will drag that into position. Go ahead and rotate this so it faces the camera. So I'm going to come over to rotate X and do 90. Very good. Come down to our poly cylinder. I'll set the radius a little bit bigger so it's easy to see. And then come down to subdivision on the axis. I do this, set this to 8. And that'll give us this nice shape here. And then I'm going to go to my side view. Let's move this into position. So move tool, I'll move this. So the front of the cap is about where the lips are going to be. And then the back end of this cylinder, we're going to remove. So go into face selection. And then select the back section of the cylinder and press delete. And that's going to give us this round cap, like so. And this is going to give us our starting point for the mouth. Let's go ahead and right click, go to object mode. And then I'm going to go ahead and do Control D to make a copy. And I'll move that up and I will put it where the eye is. Okay. Let's go ahead and size the eye. So I'll scale it and make some adjustments. This eye's kind of long. That's good. And then on the mouth, let's adjust the transparency. So attributes, grab our Lambert, drag the transparency up. And I will widen it, so scale, and widen that. Let's close this. Very good. And I'm going to go ahead and cut off this half of the lips, just so I can only work on this half. So right click, face mode, and I will select this half, delete. And then I can start moving these vertices around. So this one, I'll bring down. This up here is going to come down to make the starting point of the philtrum, which is that little slide underneath your nose. That's called a philtrum. This bottom one will be the bottom lip. Let's come back down to here. And then these diagonal cuts, we're going to remove those. So go ahead and right click, edge mode. Grab the diagonal, cut that off. Grab the diagonal, cut that off. And I want to instead go straight across. So I'm going to grab my multi-cut tool. I'm going to cut from here. And then down at the bottom, right here. Like so. Hit Q to turn my tool off. Go into vertex mode. And I can bring this up. This is going to be our philtrum. I'm going to go a little bit higher just because there's a mustache here. And again, his mouth is open, so it's hard to get the actual lip shape. So I'm going to roll with what I've got. This line here, we need to split this to create the open of the mouth. So I'm going to grab my multi-cut tool, grab this corner, I'm going to come out across the lip here. Very good. And then this one can be the top of the lip. So I'll hit Q, and then vertex mode. I'll move this about where the top of the lip is going to be. Move this corner down. Now I'm going to go into a 2 view. It's going to make it a lot easier for lining this up with the mouth. So I'm going to go over and grab the 2 view that's right here in the corner. Hit that. And then I'm going to change my second view to my side view. So I'm going to go up to Panel, come down to Orthographic, and then choose Side. And now we have our front and our side. And this is going to be a lot easier to work in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the corner of the mouth here, and I'm going to pull that way back because that's going to start back here. And I'm going to grab the next two, so the top and bottom on this corner and that corner. I'm going to move those back, like so. Then I'm going to take this top one and this bottom one. I'm going to move those back, like so. And I can adjust these as I need to. Grab you and you. Okay. I take this top part right here. I'll move that one back by itself. And this bottom one, I'll move that one back to the lip here. This one on the lip right there, I'm going to move that back. And then the one next to that, move that one back. And this guy, let's move him back. So now we have the starting shape of the mouth. It doesn't look like anything because this is still closed. But if you look at the actual shape, so I'll go ahead and move this. You can see that this angle does not really match what we're seeing over here. So sometimes that happens if the two images are not perfect. What we can do is kind of do our best guess at what we think is appropriate. So I'm going to use this as my primary, and I'm going to kind of guesstimate where things need to be on this side. All right, so I'm going to go into vertex mode here. I'm going to grab these two bottom ones, and I'll just move those down right about where the lip's going to be. I'm going to adjust these as well. And then these top two, I'll move those down right about there. So now that we have this shape, let's come over to our front view. And we're going to go ahead and just refine this a little bit. When creating lips or eyelids or that sort of thing, it's best to have them always be a circle. That's the way the muscle kind of works, and that's the most natural way the mesh should bend whenever we're making this. So one thing I want to do is make sure this is one continuous loop. To show you that it's not, let's go ahead and grab our multi-cut tool. Go ahead and hold Control, and you can see we get a straight line across. Straight line across. This should go in a circle. So what we're going to do is cut a circle into this so that our lips work in the correct way. So I'm going to go from this point to here, like that. And then from this point to there, like this. And now I need to merge these 2 points together. So I'm going to go ahead and cut from here to here, like so. Grab my target weld tool, and I'll merge this point to this point. And now we have a circular shape. So this one, just kind of refine this like that. And if I grab my multi-cut tool again and hold down the Control key, you'll see it loops all the way through. That's what we're going for. This middle space we don't really need, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut that out. So hit Q, go into face selection. This point and that point, we'll remove those. And we can take a look at that from our side view. Looks a little bit more like lips. And now I can cut in the loop that I need for the next section. So I'll go ahead and hit multi-cut, and then hold down Control. And you can see I can cut in a nice loop here. Hit Q, go into vertex selection, and now I can start refining some of these points, move them down and in. That one looks good. This one come down a little bit more. And then for the philtrum, the little part where your little slide under your nose, we're going to go ahead and just make a little spot for that. I'll pull these back for that. And now we're going to do the next edge. We're going to pull this one in. Let's go into edge mode. I'm going to grab this edge, hold Shift, double click this edge. There we go, we got a loop around. And then I'm going to go to my perspective view. To zoom in on this thing. If you press F, it'll frame up, which is nice. And we want to pull these inward. So we'll hit Extrude. And then from the Extrude, I'm going to grab the blue arrow and pull back, like so. And we're going to get the inside of the mouth here. Pretty good. I'm going to do one more layer up. So I'm going to go hit Q. I'll grab this loop here. So this one, hold shift, double click that one. And then I will pull those back. So extrude and then up like so. So this is going to create a little pocket inside the mouth that we can use for later to like hide our teeth, have our lips and our gums and that sort of thing. All right, so that's going to rest right about there. Jump into my front view. And then these, we don't want these to be off center, so I'm going to go ahead and just massage these into the correct position. So W, I'll just nudge these over. And then I'll grab this one, hold shift, double click this one, and then I'll move these over as well. And then real important, I want to make sure that these edges are lined up on the center line. So I'm going to go into vertex mode, select these, press the R key, scale to the side, and you can see that these are slightly off center. So what I'm going to do is hit W, hold down the X key, and then snap to the grid line. If you're not sure it's working, go ahead and just move it off, hold X, and then drag again. It should snap. Perfect. And I'm going to double check, make sure that these are all on the grid line here. That's good. And then these ones up here look like they've been moved a little bit. So this one, I'll go ahead and just X snap that to grid, and X snap this one to grid. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to go back to my foreview, and I'll jump into perspective. And this is where a lot of the magic is really going to begin, because we have the starting point for the mouth. I'm going to go in, let's go into edge mode here. I'm going to grab the outer ring, this one, hold shift, double click this one. And then I'm going to extrude. And this time I'm going to pull the green arrow, and I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to go quite a bit, and you can see that's coming out. If I go on the front view, you can see this is expanding. Very good. And if I go into the side view, you can see this is expanding over here. And we're getting the shape of Luigi's lips here. I'll go ahead and hit Q. Let's start refining some of this. So vertex mode. I'm going to pull this back about here. I'll form parts of the chin. This one's going to be down here. I'm going to go real far on the chin here to start the shape of the cheek. Get up here on the side of the face, and then this, and then I'll take this just under the nose because that's going to be a weird spot because Luigi has a huge nose here. Let's go into our front view. Let's make sure that we match these. Whatever's on the center should be center snapped, so I'll hold X and snap center. This one can come down to the chin. This one can come down to the chin. This one, I'll go back a little bit more. This one can come over. This can come over just under the nose there. This one's going to be center snapped, X snap. You can see the beginning of the philtrum. And I'm going to raise it up just a little bit, but it should be about there. Let's take a look. That is the lower mouth portion. Very good. Now before I go and make the rest of the head here, I have to start making the shape of the eye because this needs to connect, and we have to follow where the cheekbone's going to go. You can see the cheekbone's missing. So we'll start with the eye here, go into front view. And then from the eye, I'm going to hit Q, make sure I'm in edge selection. I'll double click this outer ring, extrude, and I'm going to hold the green arrow and extrude out. Very good. This is going to be about there. And this is going to be the shape of the eyelid, kind of around his eye. I'm going to extrude again. Pull the green arrow. I'm going to pull this one out a little bit more. This is going to give us a little bit more edge for the shape of the eye. I'm going to hit extrude once more, and this is going to be part of the nose and the eyebrow. Hit Q. Let's see where this is going to connect. So vertex mode. Line this up with some of this. I know the nose is going to have to come into here, so I'll just move these center. X snap to center. That's good. This one, I'll X snap that one as well. Like that. This one I'll X snap. Adjust for the eyebrow. And pull this back to about where the ear is. Okay, side view. Now we haven't pulled any of these back yet, so I'm going to go to my 2 view. And again, I'll change this panel to a side, so orthographic side. Okay. So this is probably good there. This one needs to come back, because that's near the ear, so it's going to come back quite a bit. This one is about where the sideburn starts, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that back. This is the top of the head here, so I'll pull that back. Eyebrow is mostly straight, but I'm going to pull it back just a little bit to line up with the forehead. This one probably is good. These are pretty flat as they are. There's no real bridge of nose here. This one, probably good. And then where is this cheekbone? Right about there. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing around this outer eyelid. This is going to get the shape of the eye here. And I'm going to shape it to this ring. So this is going to come back to here. This one to about there. This to the base of the eye. This one's going to be against the eye on the other side. I'm going in the middle here. Again, that's going to be in the crook of the eye on the other side. I'm just following the pattern. Going up against the eye. This one. Come back. Now, remember that our 2 sides do not fully match, so I'm going to kind of guesstimate, but I'm using this one as my primary. So I'm going to be a little bit higher on this side. It's okay. This point will come back. And then these I'm going to pull back into the eye. So I'm going to go into face mode. And I'm going to hold down the tab key and just grab these in the middle. Pretty good. I'm going to pull those back into where the eye is going to be. Don't worry that it doesn't fully match the eye. There's going to be some curvature on the eyeball. We'll worry about that later. And then this inner ring. And then I'll go to vertex mode. And I take these inner rings here. I'm going to move these back. Same kind of deal. So bottom points there. So this one here. I'm going to move that back to about where the skin is. That one about where the skin starts. Whoops. We're going to do that one. There we go. Don't worry about them overlapping here. They're not actually overlapping. It just looks like it from this side view. This one I'll pull back. That one. Whoops. About there. And then this one. Now let's go to our perspective view. I'm going to click the perspective window. And let's see what that looks like. That looks like Luigi's eye. A little bit bent right here because the eye is going to bulge like a circle. So to get that circular shape, I take this go into face selection. Make sure we get these interior pieces, so I grab these. Again, you can hold tab to drag select. Very handy. Hit extrude. Hit the little square. I'm going to drag left on the box here. And then I'm going to pull that forward. Like so. Pretty good. And then I'm going to extrude one more time. Hit the box. And then I'll scale the middle of the eye down. Pull that forward. Very good. And then I'll grab the vertex in the middle. Pull that forward a little bit. And now we have the eye. Fantastic. Okay, let's go ahead and go into object mode. I'll take this piece and this piece. If you haven't saved at this point, make sure you do, because sometimes it crashes. I'm going to combine these two. So hit the combine tool. Now both pieces are combined. It's going to be a matter of lining some of this up. You can see that down here on the cheek, we have our cheekbone shape here. This does not quite match, so I'll pull these forward to match. So I'll go to vertex mode. And I'll pull this a little bit more forward. Let's go to our 2 view and change this panel to side, orthographic side. There we go. Just going to move this one, this point forward a little bit more. This I'll take to the all the way to the cheek here. This one I'll come back. This one about here. And you can see how I'm lining these up and getting ready to connect these. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to go into edge mode, grab this edge, and then shift grab this one. And if you hold down the shift key and then right click, you get this little marquee menu. We're going to go ahead and grab bridge. And that's going to bridge between the 2 points here. I'll do the same thing from here to here, and then bridge those 2 points. And now we can go to our perspective view. I'll click the little button over there, hit Q, and you can kind of see the issue we're going to have if these 2 points are connected. So let's go ahead and massage this shape in. I'll grab this. I'll pull that forward some. Okay. That one forward and out. It's kind of creepy, isn't it? Okay. Kind of looks like Roger from American Dad. Hi, guys. Okay, we're going to take this and continue working around to the back of the head. Let's go up to our front view here. And let's take these up and back. So I'll grab edge mode, this point, and this point. Go ahead and extrude. Then hit the W key. I'm going to go ahead and pull these back pretty far. And I want to match the top of the head here, so vertex mode. I don't really know where his hair is going to be, so I'm going to go about here and pretend that that I'm modeling the scalp, because I don't exactly know where the hair is at. So this will be for the scalp here. So forehead, and then I'll jump into my side view. Again, I'll go to panels, go back to our side. You can see we're quite a bit up, but we need to come back, so I'll grab these points here. I'll move them in a little back. I'll move this a little bit back. Okay. back here on the jaw, I'm going to pull this one straight back. So I'm going to go into edge mode. Let's grab this one, and then I'll hit extrude. And I'll hit W. I'll pull these straight back to about where the ear is. Really good. And then I'll adjust this for the jawline. Vertex mode. Let's see, we'll do here. I'll pull these two back. This one and this one. Extrude. W, pull those back. That's going to make the chin. And then these two, I'll go ahead and merge those. So I'll grab the target weld tool, and I'll just merge this edge to that edge, like that. These ones we can pull back to line up with the ear. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. Extrude, W, and then we're going to pull those back toward about the ear. Target weld tool. I'm going to weld this vertex to there, so vertex selection. This one to there, like that. Now I'm going to build this shape around the ear, so this point will be about there. This one's going to be about there. Okay. Now one thing we should check is just to make sure you can see that we have some meat out here for the head. So I want to make sure that we're accommodating for that. So on this side view, I'm going to go ahead and grab this point and this point, and I will pull them out a little bit. This point, I'll move that to about where the earlobe is. And then these along the jaw, just kind of eyeball it. That's probably good there. This one on the cheek. This one on the cheek here. Let's pull that out. Bottom of the jaw. That actually looks pretty good. I'm just going to widen that, and I'll do that here as well. Alright, getting closer. I'll go in, grab the top of these two, so this edge and this one. And I'll grab this one while I'm at it. Hit extrude. And then W, pull those out. And I'll pull them up a little bit. I'll get my target weld tool and go to vertex mode. Let's go ahead and sew this together, this one to that one. I'll hit Q. And I'll adjust this. Whoops. As I kind of need it. Pull this one forward a little bit, so this is closer to the shape here. I'll pull these back kind of flat. Very good. And that'll give us a clean edge. You'll see a clean edge that goes through the top of the head here, so that we can start refining that as well. Okay, I'm going to go into my side view, grab these, this edge, and then I'll shift select down through the jaw, double click, and I'll hit extrude, and then W, pull those out. Looks pretty good. I love it when a plan comes together. I'm going to straighten these off just because there's some weird curvature. So I hit the R key, and I'll just scale back, move back a little bit more, and I'll start refining these on the neck here. So these along the neck. And then this, go to edge mode. And then I'm going to grab this group of edges again. I'm going to go to perspective to make life a little bit easier. Perspective. This is kind of how the head is. And to close these up, I'm going to go ahead and grab these. I do this one section at a time just to make life a little bit easier. Extrude. And I'll pull those out using W. Let's see what that looks like on the side view. Panels. Side. So vertex mode. That's probably okay. These can come down. I'm going to go to my foreview to make life easier, and then go to my perspective. So back here, it needs to start closing. So I'll grab this one, and I'll extrude, and then down with W. That'll create this. And then this one to that one. I'm going to hold Shift, hold right click, and do a bridge. Like that. And I'll just pull that vertex out and this one out to make it rounder. I'll grab these, this one, and this one. I'll hit extrude. W, go into a side view. I'm just going to pull those down like so. And I'm going to go all the way down actually to about where the neck is. And then I'm going to start shaping this to fit. So multi-cut tool, I'm going to grab that, hold down Control, and then cut in an edge right about there. Vertex mode. Let's adjust these. And then this point in the middle, this one, and this one. So edge mode, grab that and that, and we can bridge. So Shift, right click, bridge. And then I'll cut this one in. I'll go to hit Q, double click this edge, scale it straight. A little bit better. Do the same thing with this. Vertex mode, there we go. Grab vertex, grab edge mode here, and we'll bridge these two. Hold Shift, right click, bridge. And then again, cut this one in, hit Q. Vertex mode. These can come in some more, about like here. And then edge mode, this one to there, bridge it. I'm going to move these ones a little bit more toward the neck area, so vertex mode. Let's move this and these back. This way. And then I can adjust these. And you see this should be here. So need to massage this a little bit more forward, a little more up. I'm going to go ahead and grab the target weld tool, and I'll cut this one in. Q, and I'll select these. I'll move that to where the back of the head will be. I'll move these ones a little bit more toward the neck area. Multi-cut. There we go. And then cut these ones in. And then refine the shape a little bit better. Alright, I'm going to go into perspective to make life a little bit easier. Again, I'm hitting the perspective icon there. And you can see that this is a bit out. So I need to start adjusting these from the back. Vertex, grab this, move these back. I'll move these ones. And to make life easier, I'm going to go into object mode. Let's turn off the transparency, so attributes, and then bring the transparency down. Close that. You can see what we're doing a little bit nicer. These guys, move those. Again, I'm using the arrows in perspective mode, that way it's easier to see. This one, move back. Hit F to frame up a little bit so I can get really in here. Okay. Let's go ahead and select our body. So object mode, I'll grab the body, channel box. For this group right here, just go ahead and double click it. We'll call that references. So references, go ahead and save that. And I'll go ahead and turn that off so I don't have to worry about it. And then I'm going to have the body selected. I'll go to Layer, Create from Selected. And then this will be the new layer. This is going to be Body. And I'll use the up and down arrows here to shift that down. There we go. And I'll just turn the body off. Alright, so now I can just work on the head. Okay. So, edge mode, this one to here. And we can actually just do this to here, and then this one across. So that. And then we're going to bridge it, hold shift, right click, bridge. Very good. And then I'll go into vertex mode and just move these. Be careful to not get anything overlapping. Okay, and then these here are going to be part of the jaw, and they're going to go this way. So under here, grab edge mode. And I'm going to grab this one and that one. I'll extrude it, and then I'll pull it this way to the right. Very good, and then I'll weld it. So vertex mode, target weld tool. I'll weld to here, and then I'll weld to there. Hey, we have a head. Okay, I'm going to go about right here. Let's go to front view. Just make sure that everything is lined up center. You can see there's a couple spots that aren't. So the easiest way to grab all those center points is to go to our perspective view. You can see that when I go in my 4 view, that top is here, front is here, my side is up top, and my perspective is on the bottom. These got flipped because we were modifying our window. It's fine, we're just going to switch it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, make sure that this bottom one is our orthographic side, and make sure that this top one is the perspective camera. There we go. Now it's back to a natural position here. From here, I'm going to go ahead and select this vertex, hold shift, and then double click this vertex. that should grab a clean loop of vertices around the head. And we want to make sure that we're not getting the ones on the inside of the mouth here. So you can see I actually ended up grabbing the inside of the mouth. We don't want those. So for those, I'm going to shift and deselect this one, that one, that one, and that one. I just want the outer edge. Okay. And what I'm going to do with just those selected, scale tool, and then I'm going to scale toward the middle, like so. Go into our front view, hit W. I'm going to hold down the X key, and then make sure that we snap to center. Very good. The lips are kind of pointy, so I'll go ahead and pull those in. So vertex mode, I'm going to grab these here. These guys, and I'll grab these. Go over to this side just so I can see inside the mouth here. I'll grab this point and this point. Part of the lower jaw. And then I will move those back like that, just so it's not as pointy. Move that back a little bit. For right here, I can make this look less alien by fluffing it out. So if I go and grab my multi-cut tool, hold down Control, you can see we get this nice ring here. So I can grab that, just cut it in. I'll grab it, and we can control a lot of the face by adjusting how this ring is. I'll move some of these. You can see right here it's very pointy. So I'm trying to make it less pointy by rounding some of this out. So how about this point, this point, this point? Move those forward some. This point and this point. Move those a little bit more forward. I'll put one more ring in here. So multi-cut tool, put edge ring in about here. And for this, I'm going to use soft select. I'm going to press the B key. And I'm going to hold down B, and I can click and drag. You see this little circle? This gives me an area of influence. Anything that is bright yellow is strong. Anything that's red is weak. Anything that is blue is not being touched. So I'm going to go ahead and just move this up. And I can use that, so if I can grab a couple points here, and I can use that to kind of move part of the face as like a group by only selecting a couple pieces. So I can just really get some nice reshaping without having to do every point. So on here on the jaw, mouth here. That's probably good. Can do that to the side of the head. Let's move these so they're not quite as flat and pointy. Get these back corners. They'll look a lot less weird once we put hair on, but for now, we'll just adjust these. Okay. I'll hit Q, and then I'll also press B to turn off soft select. Grab my multi-cut tool, and we'll put a couple of rings around the eye here. So hold down Control, put an edge loop around the eye. And I can kind of pull these out. I'll hit B to turn soft select back on. I can adjust these. And I think that's going to be good enough for this video. We're going to go ahead and save our work. And the next one, we will start working on Luigi's nose, and then we'll do the ear, and we'll put the hair on, maybe throw some teeth in there. And then once we attach the head and everything, we'll be good, and we can start doing the UVs. So stay tuned, save your work, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Also, we are at 1,500 subscribers. Woo! That is awesome possum. Rocket Flip is out if you have not taken a look at my latest devlog. It is in open beta testing, so if you want to grab a copy and test it out, see how it plays, leave some feedback, it really helps me out. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I shall see you next time.